Well, okay, it is another one of the times where we do a little bit of spectating, but I think today what we're going to go over the most is Champions of Caldera. We're gonna obviously be spectating while we do so, but we're also going to go over where the mode went well and what the mode could do better and what this mode could mean for Warzone going forward. I think it's important to note that we have to go down and splat ourselves twice because the game mode itself actually gives you 2 free spawns, and both of them you start with your completed loadout. Complete loadout drops has been pretty much located specifically for plunder, and is now in Champions of Caldera. So no more looting for your loadout. You're dropping straight in with your guns. You get 1 free redeploy. Obviously, no gulag, which is a blessing in this day and age. As the new gulag, I think is just terrible. It's just terrible. I really have no way of saying it any better. There's too many places to hide, and too many corners, too passive. But now we have Champions of Caldera, where the entire game is kind of turned on its head for a standard BR. Other than the fact, obviously, you're attempting to stay alive. There is no more looting for your loadout. There is no more looting for your position. And the circle no longer has stages. The circle for the map continuously closes and at a pretty decent speed. So I actually prefer the speed of the circles in this compared to even the standard mode. And I think it's just because the circle doesn't actually stop at any given point, other than when we get to basically the final circle, the last little bit. And then also I want to kind of go over the meta of things. Obviously, those of you who have been watching me for a long time know that I am vehemently anti-meta, partially because I guess I hate myself and want to make the job harder. But also I think it adds a little bit more spice and variety to life. If you're the kind of person who uses the quote-unquote most effective tactic available, therefore, you know, the meta weaponry, go for it. Right now, the meta is actually almost pretty even. The NC41's most recent buff has made it a terribly, terribly strong gun. I don't think it needed this last buff. I think it was actually doing pretty good in the previous one, but they decided, hey, we're going to buff it again. And here we are. We are now here with a gun, which I said even before the buff that the NZ41 already outshot the SCG. Now, it required a lot more skill than the SCG did, but it already outshot it. And then they went and they buffed it. So now we've got quite a few ARs, mostly from the Vanguard category, that really sit at the top of the meta. The SCG, I still think, is #1, although the NZ gives it a really, really good run for its money. I think that the SCG overall, just because of its high mobility, ends up with a still better gun, still better weapon to run. Again, as you can see right there, the NZ has almost no recoil with a proper configuration, and I mean, it is hard to beat that one as well. The KG is actually a really good long-range option right now as well. And then we also have, let's see, STG, NZ, KG, and the Cooper. The Cooper has got a good point. This guy put on those gas bullets, and he's now just sitting in his own gas. That's a terrible idea. Maybe don't do that. Another thing to note is that there are a lot more lootable perks in this game mode. This guy is still standing in his own gas. There's a lot more lootable perks in this game mode, and you're going to be fully loaded on your perks a lot quicker than you would be normally. In this game mode, I think tempered is really important. If you can run only one primary class, I think tempered will take you really far in this game mode. I think snipers are heavily important because you're starting off with your loadout, and there's going to be a lot of other people that are as well. And if you are not just the king of the kings when it comes to initial fights, having a sniper and be able to land a little bit further away from the fight and just kind of living that life for a minute is not necessarily a terrible idea. This game mode does favor a bit of an aggression, as the people who are going to be coming at you after you kill them are going to be fully loaded again. They know where you are, so being able to be on the move, hit and go, is going to be really, really important. Another thing that I think that needs to be stated also is the people who are best with circle navigation and understanding how circles are closing are going to be the people who are going to probably succeed the most in this game mode, whereas people who need to generally wait for circles to move to really understand where it's going are going to have a little bit harder of a time. And I think that's mostly Where I excel as a person who has worked really hard to learn how circles change throughout the game. I think that it's really come to help me a lot in this game mode. Sitting in corners aren't necessarily going to help you a lot. If you are a passive player in this game mode, there's a couple of things that you need to watch out for. One of which is circle closures. Circle closures, while playing passive, usually end up getting caught by zone and getting caught on a rotation on into the zone. So that is a death sentence. Also, passive players, if you take out a player who is going to be at a skill level higher than you, and they recognize that when you're fighting them, there's a good chance they may attempt to land right back on top of you if it is the spawn. And a lot of people that are of really high skill capacity in this game can shoot you from the sky just like you're standing still. So you do need to be careful that whenever you take a fight, you find a way to reposition so that you're not easy to reacquire on somebody if they happen to be coming right back through. The heartbeat sensor is really strong, as a lot of people are not going to be taking a second loadout as they're not going to have ghost. Heartbeat sensors and things like that are going to go a really long way. This guy is just chasing one down. NZ, again, slaps as it can be. If you're looking to counter the NZ, actually, funny enough, Serpentine is a pretty solid perk, as the 20% reduction to health is going to give you one more bullet to the body than it would normally. And a lot of people are getting pretty used to the time to kill on the NZ, so having that one more bullet have to land is going to throw quite a few people off. Also, what you should make sure not to do is sit around with a partial plate while you have plates laying around you in this entire area. Merkham is currently just running around with 75% of his plate going there, and puts himself in a really bad position unless he continues to only catch people facing away from him. Let's look at the circle here. This circle is pushing center. One thing to note is going to be always, especially on this game mode, even during the standard game mode, you always want to be paying attention to where the circle is going. But I would say that this one's even more important because a late rotation is generally a death sentence in this one. We do see an airstrike coming in from his east. So that's most likely someone seeing... yeah. Yep. Okay, and we're going to see... This is exactly what happens right here whenever you end up getting taken out. You get one free redeploy. It generally is dropping you around where the circle is going to end. So that means that right now I'm guesstimating that it's going to be a mines finish, and we're going to see how true that is, because that's been my theory here for a minute, is that it's attempting to drop people back at the final circle. If it is, that's very reminiscent of the old Warzone when it used to drop you center circle whenever you would be killed on Verdansk and then come back from Gulag. He does not see the guy up to his left, which I'm surprised that he missed him. He was running clear as day up that pathway, but he may have not been paying attention. Or he could be on console. I don't think that the FOV difference is going to be that much of a difference for him on the path. He's coming back in just to grab his ammo and slow walk still through peak. Portable buy stations are really kind of important in Champions of Caldera. Well, recently they just changed over the buy stations to offer plates instead of plate boxes. When it first came out, it was just plate boxes. With it being plates now, they are a lot more useful now. Also, from the buy boxes, you can buy specialists for 25k, and you can buy... woo! That was close, man. That was close. What are you doing? With specialists, you can buy specialists for 25,000, and you can also buy, I think, advanced UAVs from them as well. I don't spend a lot of time in the buy station, so I try not to focus too heavily on that. But we were talking about meta here previously, so we're gonna continue on to that conversation right here. That dude had a Deagle and an NZ. What a boss. The NZ, obviously the better option of those two. Merkham needing to plate up here again. But the meta is also shifted on the SMGs, and I don't think there's a reason why it should have. The new gun, the H4 Vixen, is currently the fastest time to kill gun in the SMG category. Kinda. So it's gonna be the fastest time to kill one that you're gonna be dealing with frequently, and it is the fastest time to kill one on headshots, as the Vixen now sits at about a 300 millisecond time to kill with the 54 round 7.62 ammo, and the 36 round ammo it was like a 560 time to kill to the body, which is kind of insane. It's insanely fast. It was actually just recently nerfed from 500 milliseconds to I think 560 to 600 milliseconds, which is still insanely fast. But what's funny is the meta shifted away from the Owen gun, which is still the fastest killing to the chest gun that we have, which is insane that we've completely given up on it, seeing as people have the 7.62 ammo nerfed, but the 8mm ammo is actually the one that you're wanting. So it's kind of insane that we've passed that on. So right now you're actually looking at the H4 Vixen and the Armor Guerrera as your meta SMGs. So right now we're looking pretty much at the NZ for your AR, NZ SCG for ARs, H4 Vixen, and Armor Guerrera for SMGs. We have a couple of them that are sitting in the wings. I still think that the bar is a really good contender, although the recent buff for the NZ kind of pushed bar down one notch, because originally its benefit of running the bar was a high damage, good rate of fire gun. Unfortunately enough for the bar, the NZ does both of those better, and generally is going to have about 70 to 100 milliseconds faster time to kill on almost everything. With that being said, you can build a really low recoil bar, but the NZ still, again, does it better. So now the bars kind of fall into about third rung, whereas the NZ and the STG sit about the primary first rung. It did not move to center, which is good to note right here. I was expecting on the far side of mines, but it looks like it's coming back to peak. So that means it does not redeploy you to center final zone. It just redeploys you to center of the current zone area. Merkham finally catching. Why does this guy keep doing this? I hate it. I think he's seeing the one spectating and he's imagining that the person that he's killing is actually a person watching him, but it's not. It's me. It was always me, Dio. So now he's put himself in this tunnel and he doesn't have a specific way out. He's kind of just like about to trap himself if he doesn't move, because this tunnel like winds around a little bit. Yep, you've put yourself in a bit of a pickle here, my dude. Probably wouldn't have ran back for that, because if he comes right here and there's anybody at this doorway, he's just dead. This is the talk of a late rotation and how it works out. Okay, cool. He made it through. He's sitting with a cluster strike at the near final circle. 16 people standing on this circle is about to be hot. That is another thing about this game mode, is the last circle is generally obnoxiously hot. A whole lot of people holding corners, especially on this kind of area, holding cliff sides. He's probably about to die right here. And then also watch out for anybody parachuting in. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to try to hold for the final fall, and one of them will probably get you. There's a guy at the tree up to his left, 2 key people falling in forward, 1 guy on a sniping at the White House in front of him. He's at a cluster of a mess here. And also, this is a really hot end zone, so this is going to be pretty interesting to see how it unfolds. He's obviously running restock, or he just keeps finding those. I haven't been paying that much of attention on it. We'll see how this rotation turns out. But yeah, something important to know. Again, like I said, the meta right now, NZ, STG, Armor Guerrera, H4 Vixen. Strongest weapons in the arsenals, and they're all Vanguard. They're all Vanguard guns. If there's a gun that you have out there that you really love, that you really like, something where you feel like you'd like to see meta, or you would never like to see meta, so that way everybody else isn't running your favorite gun, let me know what your favorites are in the chat, or in the chat. I stream too much. Your favorites in the comments. If you have someone that I think that might actually be fun, maybe I'll run it. Maybe I'll show it in the stream or show it on video one day. Man, he's right up there. Please see him. Thank you. Finish. Oh, you didn't finish him. You gotta finish him. You gotta finish. You've lost him. Nope, that's not him. There he is. There he is. You got it. You got it. There you go. Sitting on 6 kills right here. Merkham might actually get it. The zone is going to close in on him here. He doesn't have a gas mask. He will start choking. He does have the guy at the white building that I called out before. He's not looking that direction. He might actually die to the guy from the white building if he's not paying any attention. This is really dangerous. He is now choking. He's giving away his position. The guy from the white building is about to blast him. No, actually, the guy from up the hill is about to blast. Oh, yeah, now both are about to blast him. I do believe this is it for Merkham. I do believe it might just be it. Yeah, there it is. Dies again to an NZ, as there is going to be a million of those on the field. 3 people left standing. Please load the next player. There we go. It's another NZ with a airstrike. Guys, he really just needs to. He has a. Oh, he was not paying attention. I was gonna say he needs to drop that airstrike, buy himself some time. So there's one above, one below. Has a gas mask. The guy jumped down. All he needs to do is be ready to fight him now that he's jumped down. He's riding out that gold gas mask, dropping an airstrike on the zone. The other guy did not have a gas mask, as you heard him cough. So this is probably not a GG. Not a GG. Okay, so now we're in the gas zone. He sees him right in front of him. There we go. Good job. Good job. Okay, well, not too bad. But that is Champions of Caldera. If you enjoy the mode, let me know. Or if you hate the mode, let me know. I would love to talk to you all more about how this mode might affect the future of Warzone, and if this might be one of the things that they attempt to push further, kind of like how they did in previous events. Things like the money areas are now there from Kong. The loadout changes that have came in and gone were from different limited time modes. This one could be one too. But yeah, let me know. I would love to hear what you have to think. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, everyone else, peace.